Kira and I just made it up to the cabin. It's the middle of March. I think the 16th today. And Stephen was up here Saturday, Sunday. They had a little snow, and so he had cleaned everything up with the four-wheeler and the snow blower. So that's nice, not having to do anything, but you can see the standing water. It rained, probably 3/4 of the way up here today, and if you look at the cabin, there's no snow on the roof. It all came off in warm weather. In fact, we'll go over here. There's still some on this part, but you can see the big piles here on the ground. Man, it's hard walking. It's like you're on an ice rink here with this melted snow and stuff, but when I was up here the last time, this section here was all full of snow. Now you can still see some here, but I think a lot of that, or some of that, will come off, although usually in the valley it's the slowest to come off. But with putting heat in the building, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of that comes off too as it warms up. You can see the ice melting. Now the other side of this addition is dripping pretty good, but that's less steep, so that doesn't usually slough off. So I'll have to get the shovel here and kind of clear a path through this section. But a person has to really watch here walking around, because it's so icy and slippery. I didn't think to bring my little ice cleats for the bottom of the shoes, but I guess you don't usually think about that in the middle of March, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea now to bring them up if we come up again in the spring when there's going to be this kind of ice. I think the temperature, they said, or my thermometer said 40 degrees, and it was 36 in the cabin. So it'll warm up a lot faster. Stephen was up here, like I mentioned, last weekend, and when he got here on Saturday, it was 12 degrees in the cabin, so quite a bit colder then than it is now. And I think we're supposed to have warm weather all this week. So I'm not sure what'll get done. I have a couple ideas on things to work on while I'm here. Well, I got a path cleared through there. There were some big chunks of ice. I think that's the stuff that kind of gets on the edge of the metal roofing, and that builds up a little ice in the winter when some of the snow melts up there. So I had to actually pick up a couple of chunks just to get them off the ground, because I couldn't lift them with the shovel. So at least we'll be able to get through there now without slogging through the wet snow. Last night at about 11:30 I was sleeping, and all of a sudden the rest of that snow that was up on the roof let loose and came sliding down. So you saw yesterday where I shoveled, and now this stuff came down. Let's see if we can get over here and take a look at the roof. It's pretty much gone. A couple little patches, and of course then all the pine needles that lay there in the valley in the fall when the needles slough off the tree here. But yeah, it woke me up as all that came sliding off. I might work a little. I have to see what kind of lumber I have left in the shed. But what I was thinking about working on was building a door that swings open here, because when I took those logs out to access the drier wood in the back here, you know, this tarp isn't the most convenient method for getting in and out, and so if I make a door that swings, it'll keep snow out and make access a lot easier. But we'll see, like I say, if I've got enough 2x4s and that. I know I've got some old 3/4 inch boards that I can use, but I need the 2x4s or 2x6s even to make the frame. Lumber right now is like having gold in your pocket if you go to the store to buy some, but I might have enough up in that loft there just to do something like this, so that would be the first thing to check it out. Well, I should have enough material to build that door frame, I believe. There's a couple of 2x6s there and some 2x4s. So should be able to frame that in, and then I've got some 3/4 inch boards underneath the cabin that I can get to make the outside surface. So let's go tear off that tarp and see what we got there to work with. Well, it's coming along. I haven't filmed a lot of it for a couple of reasons. One, the battery's going down, and then secondly, which is even more important, is it's so icy here and treacherous that to move around back and forth has been kind of a challenge. So I really, like I say, haven't filmed a whole lot because yeah, it's pretty treacherous here walking on this ice. So anyway, it's coming along. I'll show you more as we get close to being done here. Well, here's the door that I finally finished. Took me a lot longer than I anticipated, and primarily because of how icy it is. Trying to move around here was unbelievable, but I got it done for now. I'll paint it here this spring or summer. We have plans maybe replacing this roof on the woodshed and putting a metal roof on there. So yeah, it didn't turn out too bad, but like I say, it was an incredible project just because, well, I think I mentioned how icy and slippery it is. So far I haven't fallen. I'm actually probably gonna cut this trip short, maybe head home tomorrow, because it's just too hard to move around here and do anything, even out, you know, whether it's work or trying to recreate or what. I mean, one bad fall on this ice and that could be a bad deal. So anyway, I got one thing done today, and this will be a lot nicer than that tarp that was on here. I'll get something besides this bolt probably to hold the door, but at least to be able to access this. And I left some spaces, so you know, there might be a little snow that blows in the winter, but at least in the summer you'll get some more air circulating in there. So just another project knocked off the list. I'm all packed up, heading back into town to home. It is absolutely gorgeous out here this morning. I think right now we're about 34 degrees. Just a little breeze. Sun is shining. Supposed to get up close to 40 today. I mean, this is an absolutely gorgeous time to be here. The problem is, like I mentioned maybe earlier in this video, is how much ice there is. I don't know if you can see it very well there. Over in that area when I was packing up. Luckily I haven't wiped out yet, but man, it is just like being up on a ice rink right now. And since I figured you can't really be outside doing much of anything, didn't really make much sense to stay here and sit in the cabin, I guess. Although at times that's not bad, but the snow has settled a lot in the last few days, and I think it's supposed to be this way, well, into next week. Maybe this will show a little better what this ice is like. Just closing up the sheds was, you're just tiptoeing to get around. I guess I never anticipated this coming up, otherwise I could have put in my traction spikes that go on the bottom of your shoes, but it never even crossed my mind. Maybe what I'll do is at some point just get an extra pair of the less expensive ones and leave them up here at the cabin for springtime like this, in case you forget to bring them up or conditions change faster than you anticipate. Kira's in the truck waiting, saying, why aren't we leaving yet? All the snow is gone off the roof except for the backside, which has less pitch to it, although it's still dripping and melting off there, so that'll come off here too in the next few weeks. I thought about staying and cutting some of the trees, but the snow is still kind of deep in the woods here. So you'd end up cutting them off at about 2 or 3 feet above the ground, which isn't necessarily bad because you can go back and trim them off at the ground level. But I figured, no, I better just get out of here since I haven't taken a tumble yet. Falling isn't bad, it's the landing that hurts the most. So I didn't want to challenge that, especially being here by myself. If you fall and break something, if you don't have your cell phone right with you, you know, it could be kind of a bad deal all the way around. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we appreciate all of you checking in with us when we post a video. And until the next one, enjoy.